What is going on, everybody? I am the FDGURU, bringing to you guys a Monday NBA playoff edition of my DFS podcast. We have a 3-game main slate tonight, coming off of a great NBA Sunday, even though the games were, pretty much all blowouts outside of that last game between the Thunder and Pelicans. We found a way to sweep the board. The Cash and GPP main lineups easily hit all contests. This was the Cash lineup. This was the GPP lineup. Norman Powell was tough. What are you going to do, though? You're not going to find a lot of comfortable, cheap value plays in the playoffs because there's not a lot of teams playing, and most teams are healthy. The after-hours slate for the last 2 games also easily cashed. I had this on my Dub Club. As I always say, non-main slates, I post on my Dub Club. You can sign up with the link below with a nice promo. So get over there. I post plenty of stuff over on the Dub Club, bets as well, and sometimes some prop plays too. So let's have another great NBA night, hopefully a great MLB night as well. Doing a free Guru credit code in this video. I'm doing a free Guru credit code in my MLB video as well today. A double banger for you guys. I've done this a couple of times recently. Like doing giveaways. I want to get some more, traction on the YouTube, so I don't mind giving some credits to you guys. I'll give you that code after the first couple of my plays. As usual, 5 plays in this video using FanDuel salaries, 1 for each position. Let's get into it. We don't really have true questionable tags here. Anthony Davis expected to be available. LeBron probable. Joel Embiid is questionable, but I think he's going to play. He was able to come back at halftime and play the rest of that first game after hurting his knee. So unless, he had a lot of swelling or, other things after the game, I would, assume that he plays. The real questionable guy on tonight's slate is Tyrese Maxey, a late addition. I think it popped up this morning. It's an illness, so if he's actually sick, he might not be able to get out there. He's obviously going to do everything in his power to play through it. We'll have to wait and see. That's a 7:30 Eastern game tonight, so hopefully we get that news before lock because it's going to open up some value for the Sixers. I do like, as our first play, Kyle Lowry. Whether Maxey plays or not, he's going to start at shooting guard. Had a really, really nice game 1 for the Sixers. He's a guy that thrives in the playoffs. He's a veteran. He's got a lot of experience. He's been there before. 38 minutes against the Knicks. 31 fantasy points at 4,700. We need just 22 or 23 from him. He looks really good. And if Maxey's out, he's going to be an automatic play. He's obviously going to look a ton better. But even with Maxey I still like Lowry as a cheap play. Like I said earlier, there's not a lot of cheap plays in the playoffs that we can feel comfortable about. Lowry looks pretty good as a starter with the Sixers. And then obviously if Maxey is ruled out, we're going to have to look at guys like Cameron Payne and Buddy Hield. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it's definitely something you want to monitor for tonight. Shooting guard, I'm going to go back to OG Anunoby. He was a disappointment in the first game. Now, 3 of the Knicks' 5 starters got just kind of screwed on minutes because the bench for the Knicks played just crazy. It's not going to happen again. I mean, it might, but the chances are that we're not going to see Bogdanovich, Miles McBride, and Mitchell Robinson just light up the box scores. McBride was hitting 3 after 3. We saw DiVincenzo not finish the game because of this. Anunoby was still able to get out there, but he only played 31 minutes because Bogdanovich was also hitting 3s and playing well. On a normal night in the playoffs, we can expect 40 minutes from Anunoby at 5,800. He's just a great all-around player at sub 6K. He can fill up the defensive stats. He gets a ton of steals. He's going to get you double-digit in points. And, he kind of contributes to rebounds and assists as well. He needs 28 fantasy points. He's projected for like 27 tonight. looks like a good play. I'm not going to worry about that last game. I do not expect Mitchell Robinson, McBride, and Bogdanovich to carry the load off the bench for the Knicks again. We all know if those bench guys don't come out hot, Thibodeau has no problem playing all 5 of his starters 40-plus minutes for the game. Going over to my website, fd-guru.com, you got to be signed into an account to put in this code. This code's going to be for 10 Guru credits. Again, I'm going to have an MLB code as well today in my MLB video. Go to the shop page at the top where you usually buy all your credits. If you wanted NBA lineups for tonight, for example, you would scroll over to this NBA playoffs tab, and I have the main slate for FanDuel and DraftKings over there, as well as MLB and PGA. So go to this barcode here. You're going to type in the date in a number, 4/22 for April 22nd, 4/22 basketball in all caps. 4/22 basketball, all caps. You're going to hit apply coupon, and then you'll get those 10 credits into your balance, and then look for my MLB video later as well for yet another code. Give this video a like as well, guys. I forgot to mention. That's all I ask in return, to continue to just do a bunch of these giveaways. Small forward, I like going back to Jonathan Isaac. As a starter now, it's really, really nice to see this guy, basically fully healthy and, kind of living up to what he's always, what the Magic always thought he was going to be. And that's, a versatile player. And he was in game 1. Now the Magic got absolutely steamrolled by the Cavs. They were down 15 basically the whole game. Isaac still played well. He contributed everywhere. 10 and 5, 3 blocks, 3 steals. If you look at his blocks and steals, he fills it up. And now that he's getting mid to high 20s in minutes, he is, a top fantasy point contributor. I like him again here tonight. Obviously, he's like $1,000 more than he was last slate, so he's not as much of a lock, but I still like the play at 6,200. We can expect him to play 26 to 30 minutes. I'm convinced he would have played more than 28 minutes if the game was a little bit closer. I like Isaac. The fact that they're starting him over Wendell Carter really shows that they fully trust his defense against a very, very difficult front court in the Cavs with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. So it seemed like he was able to handle them. 3 blocks, 3 steals. Great defender. I like him at 6,200. Power forward, we're going to go back to my same theory with the Knicks here. I don't think we're going to see 30. Let me just double check how many minutes McBride actually played for them, because it was ridiculous. 28 minutes off the bench. He's not going to do that again. He hit like 6 threes. I think he was like 5 for 5 from 3 at one point. It's just not, I would say that scenario in game 1 happens 1 out of 10 times. So I'm going to play the odds here, the 9 out of 10 side of it, that we're going to see the Knicks starters play more and more. McBride played really well. Bogdanovich played really well. He struggles to see minutes, but he went 13 and 7. Just not going to happen again. Most likely. It could happen again. And then Mitchell Robinson. This guy came off the bench and cooked as well. 30 minutes. We saw him play on average 10 to 20 minutes off the bench. So to lead into my power forward play, I still like Isaiah Hartenstein. He had been a center for a while on FanDuel. He's power forward, center again now, so we can fit him in on FanDuel at power forward so we can jam in the Joker. 5,500, we've seen a guy like Hartenstein up towards 7,500, 8K at times this year because he can dominate. He only played 17 minutes. He fell into that DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby trap where the bench kind of just played more than them. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. The chances are these starters are going to play a lot more tonight, bearing that we don't see the bench come out and play so well. But, on average, he's going to play 28 to 33 minutes as we see in this game log. And he's at one of the lower prices we've seen with him for a long time. 5,500, he needs 27 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected for 28. He has a 35 to 45 fantasy point upside. Even last game, only played 17 minutes, and he basically hit value, getting 25 fantasy points. We can't project him for 17 minutes. It's not a likely scenario. We can project him more for like 25 to 30 minutes tonight. And he's a guy that really does a lot of fantasy point stuff on the floor because he's a great rebounder and he's a great, shot blocker and runs into steals as well. And we all know on FanDuel, defensive stats are a point more than DraftKings. Blocks and steals are 3. DraftKings are only 2. So we definitely hold more weight with a guy who can, get active on the defensive side. And then for center, it might be difficult to get up to Jokic tonight. There's not a ton of cheap value. If Tyrese Maxey is ruled out tonight, we'll have a lot easier pathways to get to Jokic. I'm going to put him in this video because if you find yourself with money to spend at center, I just want to tell you that we want Nikola Jokic bad. I honestly think he didn't play as well as he, should have in that first game, and he still went 32, 12, and 7, 63 fantasy points. He's almost projected to get a triple-double tonight. His odds to get a triple-double are like plus 130, which is just insane. I like him a lot. He's going to play 38-plus minutes in a close game. This Nuggets and Lakers game, compared to the other 2 games on this slate, has a 20-point higher over-under. Cavs and Magic, we see them at 203. Knicks and Sixers, we see them at 205. 2 gritty games as those first 2 games. Nuggets and Lakers is at 223.5 over-under. So we're obviously favoring this game a little bit more. 20 points is a big difference. A lot, higher pace and, just better overall offenses scoring the ball in this game. I like Jokic at 12K. We all know he has a 80, 90 point upside, and he's projected for 62 fantasy points tonight, and he only needs 60 to hit value. So not only is he a great guy to spend up on, he's one of the better overall value plays over any cheap, expensive guy on this slate because he's projected to hit value even at 12K. So I'm going to try to find ways, even if Maxey plays tonight, I'm still going to try to find ways to get Jokic in at center. Now, DraftKings is always a different scenario because they just hate pricing up Anthony Davis. I haven't looked at DraftKings yet, but I'm assuming Anthony Davis is going to be no more than 10K tonight because he was like 9,300 in Game 1. Anthony Davis is going to be a priority on DraftKings because they hate pricing him up. Not really on FanDuel at $11,200. I'd rather spend $800 more on Jokic. That'll do it for my video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Like it, subscribe, put my alerts on, and look for that MLB video as well later today. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.